you shut the fuck up, stop whining, stop complaining, and take the first step, take action. Because if you don't take the first step, it's never going to happen. You can't wait for the perfect time, because it's never going to be. You have to reach out and to get it. If you wait too long, if you wait to set up all those cameras, the sun's going down and losing light. You can't go down today, and you have to stay here at night, which I don't want to do. So I'm on top of this mountain, Marathon Mountain here in Seward, Alaska. So every summer they have a race in here, marathon race. The guys have to come on top of this mountain going down. The top of the mountain is right where I'm standing here. So this is a good place to talk about the universal journey of the man. Okay, so basically, the first 20 years of your fucking life, you don't have control over your direction, over your course. You're this dead fucking jellyfish. You're floating on the ocean, on the surface of the ocean. If you're fucking lucky, you get carried on to the Pacific Ocean and go to and take the current to Venice Beach. If you're not, you get swept off the shore and left on the fucking cold rock with the baking sun in the day and left to death. You don't have control. Basically, how you're gonna raise, how you were raised. You were raised as the feminine, the girl, because you are a kid. How we raise kids? We raise kids by praise. If you do your homework good, I'll give you fucking candy. Eat the fucking candy, do the fucking homework again, come back. If you do good, I'll give you 2. If you do bad, I'm not going to give you. What it trains us to do is to look for the fucking validation. This is fucking bad, because through praise, the character in our persona, the feminine part of our character, the personality is high overdeveloped, and the manly part, the masculine part of us, the masculine character, persona of us is underdeveloped. So there's no man, there's no another man in our life to say, hey, fuck, shut the fuck up, stop complaining, do that 10 more push-ups, otherwise there's a little crying girl, bitch, do it, girl. We don't have that man in our lives. So we hit our 20s. Well, this is fucking woman. What happens now? You hit your fucking 20s. Your best friend in elementary school, little Jenny, you grew up together for 10 years, the best friend for 10 years. And she becomes the feminine because she's raised as the feminine. You are too, and you are this feminine. And because she's in her feminine, you are attracted to her. And because you are in your feminine as well, she is not attracted to you. And you become this little bitch, this little girl, whiny girl that just suddenly one day jump out of the closet. Hey, Jenny, I love you. Look, I have a dick and I want to be your boyfriend. And Jenny's, what the fuck is this? Get the fuck over here. And you're doomed. And Jenny never pick up your phone again. And some men take the journey, take the pilgrimage, take the transformation based on the experience because of that. And some men never know the path exists and never become a man, never take the journey of the transformation of becoming the man. They remain the boy that grown up with the fucking beard, but they're still a boy inside. They're still the feminine. The boy is the feminine. And basically, what's the difference? When you're 5-year-old, what's the biggest fear? The biggest fear, of course, is being abandoned by your parents. What's the second biggest fear? The second biggest fear is dying. But you're still alive, dude. Now you're at 30s, you're at 20s, your 5-year-old is still alive. No, but a part of him is you have the consciousness, you have the continuity of your life. Some part of your mind is still there inside of you, and 20 years later it's still going to be there. And that part of you is your masculine, is your consciousness, is your unchanging consciousness. And if you want to reach your masculine, that is where you should start, is where you should end. To become the consciousness, to become the unchanging consciousness. Everything's going to change. Your body's going to change. Your looks going to change. Your hair's going to fall off, and someday you look good, someday you look bad, and you're going to get skinny. You're going to get fat. But the consciousness inside of you doesn't change. Even your mind changes. Even your thought changes. Even your purpose of life changes, go into various directions and get deeper and deeper and changes. Your the continuity in your mind is your masculine, is the consciousness that doesn't change. So how do you reach that? Constraints, distractions. What's the other word for masculine? Freedom, death, limbo, end. We want to put end into argument because we want to put an end. I want to reach freedom. I want to break through that force of gravity to climb those fucking mountains. There are many ways to do that. You can join the military and fight for what? For freedom, right? Yeah, you look for You go to sports teams, you fight another group of guys and put the ball on the spot. That's freedom. That's put the end onto that. Other ways to do that, you can get a bunch of money, you can get high status. What's that for? You get high status, you get money, you get power of purchase. The power of purchase make you feel the sense of freedom. Is that always the case? No, it's not, but it's one way to do that. What are the other ways? The other ways, you abandon society. You abandon society, go into the woods. You come to the woods here in Alaska and you live self-reliantly. You live independently. Fuck society. I don't need any of those. I don't need a car. I don't need a flight. I don't need to go to Hawaii. I'm living here, building my own fucking house, living in a cave, and I make my own fucking clothes. I don't need any of you. And that's freedom as well. We have like inherent deficiency of that one, abandoning society, and I have another video for that. Check it out. Check that one out. Maybe I post that, maybe I not. So freedom, no matter whatever way you choose, you can become a Buddhist monk. You can go climb those mountains. You can get a bunch of you can buy a bunch of boats. You get money, or you can go in the military. Whatever you take, the purpose is to feel the sense of freedom. And freedom from fucking what? From three things. Free from constraints, the social constraints, the validation from other people. You worry about how other people think of you. Like right now, dude, look at me right now. I just climbed a fucking mountain. I'm fucking tired as shit. I'm waving my fucking scarf. If I think about how other people are gonna think of me, I can't be free. I have to be free from that validation, how other people think of me. And the third of all is the feminine distraction. Dude, that's a different thing. Those people that go to places like this, they drop down by a helicopter, take a fucking photo, and they post it on the Facebook. They don't feel happy when they are here. They didn't climb the mountain. They can't feel the freedom. They don't feel happy. Their happiness is from the validation. Some Facebook friends hit the like button, and the sound from Facebook and check, hey, I got 30 likes, I feel happy now. That's validation. You have to be free from the validation to become free. Constraints, society constraints. Society constraints make you feel powerless. You have limitations. You have to pay things. You have to pay for your gas. You have to pay for your fucking bills and rent. That constrains you. The one way to do that is to get money and solve those problems so that it can be free. It doesn't affect your life. The other way to do that, fuck society. I'm coming here, Alaska, live self-reliantly. Well, that's one way to do that. And free from the feminine. The feminine distracts you. The feminine attracts both boy and man and a woman. The boy is feminine as well. It's just a woman. So the woman is attracted to the luminosity. Luminosity is the part of the feminine that attracts you. Not all parts of the feminine attracts you, because feminine women are bitches. The bitch irritates you, but she has the luminosity that also attracts you. So the luminosity attracts a woman in a way of celebration. So the girl, if you are a woman, if you are a feminine man, the girl will dance with you, the girl will go shopping with you, she's going to celebrate her feminine with you. That's why girls fuck other girls. It's not because she's attracted to the girl like a man, it's because she's celebrating her feminine with another woman. And that's the same way the little boy comes to here, look at the snow mountains, look at the ocean, look at the bay, I'm gonna dance with a fucking butterfly, with a fucking eagle above the head, everything. That's not a man do it. The man doesn't give a shit. The man stays still. The man stays unchanging consciousness. The man reacts to this luminosity in a very different way than women and little boys. So that's the masculine. The masculine has two desires. One is to be free. That's why you want to join the military. You want to hold the guns, fight for freedom for our country. Is the war always lead to freedom? Really? 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 Think about that. No, but it's in the name of freedom. Just like right now, I'm talking to the fucking camera. I'm thinking about freedom. I feel more power right now, and the power makes me feel more freedom. Just think about the word fucking freedom. Look, freedom is the first thing that a man desires for. The second thing, dude, once you reach the fucking freedom, you're on top of the mountain. I can be here forever, really. I can be here forever and just stay here. But now what? This is my first day here. I feel like fucking great. But what's the next day? A year later, I'm still here. So what? I'm just looking at the fucking snow mountains, the fucking rocks, and what? And that's the biggest desire for men, is to unite with luminosity. Look, you chase for luminosity. The feminine celebrate with the luminosity. The feminine try to become part of the luminosity. But the men are inspired inspired by the luminosity, not to become a part of the luminosity, but be inspired by that. So what the fuck does that mean? Basically, so now you're a man. Now the little journey from your high school, from elementary school, are actually attracted to you because you're free. You're from her destruction of her form, and you don't need her relationship. Once you are in need of the relationship, you're in your feminine, and that doesn't attract. So you have to be the masculine, the death, the limbo that doesn't give a shit, the freedom of woman, of constraints. And now what? Now they are attracted to you, but it will have a different stage. The first stage is little boy. The second stage is the man, the masculine. The third stage is the man. He's dead, he's limbo, he's free, but he can project he can project his luminosity out while being dead. What does that mean? So basically, the reason that you're attracted to the scenery, the nature, the scenery, and the woman, the pussy, is because you're seeking for those luminosity inside of feminine. But luminosity is just a part. There's also a form. That form is a distraction to you, because you cultivated those consciousness, the masculine, to make your mind clear, so that you can see through those form of distraction, see through the form of distraction from the woman, from the scenery in here, and right through to the luminosity itself. You recognize that you identify with the luminosity, you feel the luminosity instead of the form. You're not distracted by the form. And now what? You realize that you chase the feminine, you chase the woman, and if you haven't gotten anything you want in your fucking life, you realize that nothing fucking satisfies you long. You would like this woman so fucking much, you would even fuck her, and finally you fuck her, or you fuck her like for a year, and you look at this woman. Damn it, that's it. What next? I'm not satisfied. That's it. So you want to fuck another woman, and the circle goes on. It's like you become fucking dog, chase your own tail, and you can never quite get there. You know, kind of like getting close, but you can not quite get there. And to a point, you realize that the luminosity is not outside. The outside luminosity in the woman and in the nature, in all the things you wanted, the fucking ice cream, in the fucking chocolate cake, in all those different colors, the range of colors of the t-shirt that you collect in your fucking closet, is the reflection, is the mirage of the luminosity that's inherent with your consciousness. You can't be satisfied, you can't feel the fulfillment unless you unite your consciousness with its own luminosity. So what you do is you just stay away from women, become the monk. You just never go to the scenery, you just lock yourself in a dark room for the rest of your life. No! You fucking go chase that luminosity. And you fucking go chase that luminosity because you cultivate this consciousness. You can see through the form, see through the distraction. You're not distracted by drugs, alcohol. Those things make you fool, make you be in the moment. Why people do drugs? Because that's in the moment. And you can't get into that. That's the fullness, that's the love of feminine. You're distracted by those feminine. Why you watch pornography? Because that's the woman out here. You chase the feminine energy, the luminosity, because dude, nobody gets fulfilled by watching porn. Dude, let's face it, nobody gets fulfilled by doing drugs. Maybe in that moment it's kind of that, but it's not really fulfillment. So you realize that those are reflection, are mirage of your inherent luminosity, and you see through those distractions, you see through those forms, you identify with those and feel those inside of you, and you give that specific quality, specific kind of luminosity right back to this world, to that woman, to her, the small her and the bigger her. So you make the place better than you found her, and you make the woman better than you found her. Whatever quality you want to receive the most from the her, you fucking give back to her. And through that way, you kind of, before you shoot out that energy, before you project the energy through your masculine, you have to inflate yourself just organically, naturally. When you inflate yourself with that specific quality that you want the most, you instantly just feel fulfillment, the union of your conscience with this luminosity, specific type that you want the most. So you start to give to the world, you start to give to the woman, and suddenly you feel like, dude, I'm fucking fulfilled. I can never chase that, but now I start to give I feel good. And that's the third stage man. The third stage man is fun, and he can dance, but his dance is not become the part of feminine. His dance, his movement, his feminine expression is projected from his groundedness, centeredness, and non-reactiveness, the freedom, the nothingness, the death of his masculine is projection. He doesn't become the her, he doesn't become the luminosity, he projects the energy out. So that way he becomes the most attractive. Do you know why? Because the woman wants to celebrate the feminine with him. And the woman also be attracted to the masculine. The masculine and the feminine is the polarity. Once you're in your masculine, the feminine is going to be attracted to you. That's a natural arc of polarity attraction. And then that's the third stage man. So let's wrap up. So first of all, you're a boy. You hit your fucking 20s, you're a boy. You would hit walls, you'll be rejected, and you can't figure out why. Damn it, I'm the fucking best friend with this Jenny for 10 years. We told each other all those secrets. We go to fucking Hawaii, take a fucking vacation. Why she doesn't pick up my phone? Because I said I love her. And you realize, damn it, there's a path of becoming a man that I missed for fucking 20 years and take that fucking journey. Do whatever you fucking want. Get the money, start your project, start your business. Go fucking climb the mountains, feel the freedom. Freedom has only one. Freedom from constraints, from validation, from feminine distraction. All those are categorized into three, but they are actually one. The masculine only has one, and the feminine has the variety, the range, the different colors, the different type of feminine energy. It has a variety, but the masculine only has one. The freedom has only one. When you are free from the feminine distraction, you're also free from society constraints. You're also from other people's validation. That's all together. So do whatever fuck you want to reach that freedom, the sense of freedom. Once you reach that sense of freedom, it allows you to become this consciousness because there's no distraction. You're just on your own. There's austerity and be on your own, isolated, and you get in touch with your consciousness. Once you become a consciousness, you get in touch. You identify with your masculine, and you are the man. Once you are a man, what next? You can't just be there, just be in the limbo for the rest of your life. You can do that, but there's more. The more is to give out whatever you wanted the most from the world, from the woman, to the world and to the woman. And the way to do that is to use your consciousness to see through the distraction, not be distracted by the feminine form, not be swayed by the feminine power, but penetrate that form into that specific kind of quality that what most identify with those, and realize the reason it attracts you is because that's the reflection of your inner light that comes together with your masculine, with your consciousness, and you give that luminosity back to the world, back to the woman. You just give massively, extensively, give it all, give it away, and you don't think, you just give. And once you give that, the dog, the chaser becomes the chasee, and the chaser becomes the chaser. You chase the dog chases his own tail, and you become united with yourself, you become fulfilled, you're satisfied now by giving, and you become this cool guy that is in his masculine, but he's also free to express his feminine. He can dance, he can sing, but everything is projected from that depth, that limbo, that consciousness.